Hey, you guys. All right. So, so I decided to do this one more time because I wanted to give you my full attention and do kind of a recap of what we were talking about. So, this week's McKellar Motivational Monday, we are talking about 3 things. One is tips on how to be smarter. Another one is just my math books, and a third one is Pi Day. So I thought, let me just talk to you guys for a second. I did this earlier. For those of you who don't already know, I do my Motivational Mondays on Facebook and Periscope and Instagram. So it just wasn't, it was like malfunctioning, and I wasn't really able to give you guys the attention that I wanted to. So, and let me recap for anybody who didn't see, yes, Pi Day, yes. Okay, so this is not pie like the pie that you eat. This is the number pi. In fact, I'm wearing the necklace right now. It's blown out so you can't see it. Wait, kind of. It's the number pi. Pi, 3.141592653589979, and it goes on and on. I wrote a song about it with 139 digits of pi, and that I posted on Instagram today, Monday, because on Thursday it is Pi Day. That is Thursday, March 14th, 3.14. You can see the necklace, Tim? Oh, very cool. Hi again, Luis. Hi, Tim. Hi, Dieter. So the tip that I wanted to talk about in terms of being smarter, this is something that a guy named Jim Quick was talking about on a podcast that I heard. So I was sort of inspired by it. This is the idea that like he talks about remembering people's names. First of all, how many of you guys wish you could remember Dieter? Okay. How many of you guys wish that you could remember people's names better? You saw something about Pi Day today, Adam? Oh, and you thought of me. Well, thank you. Mystic Ninja, yeah. Quick is spelled Kwik, I believe. So he talks a lot about that. So for me, I do have an issue remembering names, sure, like probably as much as the next person. But you do a trick of association, Louise? That's great. Yeah, like you take someone's name and you sort of like associate it with something else. The problem is most of us don't take the time to do stuff like that, right? But what he says is that it's not a matter of retention. It's a matter of attention. It's if you knew their names, you'd have to talk to them. Well, you know, I don't know what to say about that, but yes, you might. So for me, it's about remembering locations. I always say, oh, I got the worst sense of direction. I don't know where I am ever. And yes, that's true, Bill. I've seen that. I've totally seen that. So for me, it's a matter of like, I don't know where, like, honestly, it's horrible. If I go into a mall and I walk in one store and I walk out and I think I'm going one way, I think I'm continuing on, I actually start walking back the same way again. I'm like, wait, have I been here? Oh, shoot, I was going the wrong way and I don't know where I am. So this happens to me. This is embarrassing to admit, but it's true. And I'm starting to think I can apply the same thing. If it's a matter of attention and not retention, then if I'm just paying more attention when I'm going someplace, maybe I wouldn't have that problem. Right? I'm not ignoring you, Chris. I didn't see you. You can't remember what you wore yesterday? Well, but is it important? And that's really the key. Our attention. We put our attention on what's important. Something that Jim said is that if you were told, okay, the next person you meet, if you remember their name in 10 minutes, you're going to get $100,000 that's in that suitcase right over there. It's yours if you can remember the person's name. If somebody said that to you, would you remember the next person's name? Yes. Yes, you would. Because you're motivated. You would, and because of that, you would give it your attention. Really pay attention. It's so funny. I mean, 10 minutes, okay, maybe 10 days even, nefarious. You'd remember because it mattered. So that's just a really quick thing that I actually believe that could really work. You have to notice and pay attention, and whatever we put our attention on gets stronger. Yes, your mind aches, Danica, but it's actually CA, not KA. It's okay. Anyway, so I found this really interesting, and this would be a way to immediately feel smarter just by paying more attention. Let's face it, with today's distractions and everything else, that's probably a tall order, and that's okay though. Let's pay more attention. Yeah. So my books. I want to take you guys on a quick tour of my books. I would say the book for the youngest kids would be probably Goodnight Numbers, which is right there. That's like a little bedtime book. And then 10 Magic Butterflies is probably next. This is for ages like 2 to 5. What kind of books are behind me? These are the books you can see are the books that I've written. All my McKellar math books. And this one's really pretty. 10 Magic Butterflies. And then the next one, I think this is like ages 2 to 5 as well. This is the beginning of addition. So you can see these really fun little tabs. And each one is a little addition problem. And it's bath time, math time. Yes. Am I still signing them, Teresa? You know, from time to time, I'll go to a bookstore and I'll sign books just randomly. I might do that soon, actually. And when I do, I usually will go either on, I'll announce it on Twitter. This is really happening. Consuming Fire, yes. You have one signed by me, George? Cool, Georgie. So let's see. The next book after that would be probably, do not, that one, can you see it? Do Not Open This Math Book. That's the one. This is for ages 6 to 8, and it's addition and subtraction. But like the way they teach it now, which can be a little confusing sometimes. You are welcome for signing it. It was my pleasure. Thank you, Lion Eyes. Laurel and Hardy. Yes, that is Laurel and Hardy behind me. And that is a note that a classroom wrote to me, which was just so great. So anyway, so usually I'll announce on Twitter, I'll say, hey, I'm at a bookstore right now. Call this number right now and I'll sign a book for you. If not, you can call back later and they'll have just signed books that don't have my, I didn't write your name, but it is a signed book. Two people asked me almost the same question, if I actually teach math. I've been a substitute teacher here and there, but the truth is that if I became an actual teacher in a classroom, it would be all I did. I wouldn't have time to write books. I wouldn't have time to be a full-time mom. I wouldn't, all these things, act in Hallmark Channel movies, which I do all the time, and it'd be challenging. So maybe someday though, because I think I'd really enjoy it. And then the next book after that would be Math Doesn't Suck, which is for ages 9 to 12. It teaches fractions, decimals, percents, things like that. And this is the first book that I actually ever wrote. What book for a 10-year-old? This one, Joe. Math Doesn't Suck, for sure. You want your wife to buy a third grade? So the third grade book is one that I'm writing right now, and it comes out in 2020. It's going to be multiplication and division. It's not out yet. I'm working really hard, though, to get it out. Then after Math Doesn't Suck, which is like 5th grade, 5th, 6th kind of, then we have Kiss My Math, which is 6th, 7th grade. And this one is like solving for X, and, there's a little bit of that in Math Doesn't Suck, but this is more variables stuff, negative numbers, graphing, slope, intercept form. A lot more variables. A lot more X and Y stuff. This might be my favorite book of mine, Kiss My Math, actually. After that is Hot X, Algebra Exposed. This is Algebra 1. Yes, D Freedom, Algebra 1. Thanks, Justin. I appreciate that. And this is 8th grade or 9th grade whenever your child is taking Algebra 1, which I think they split it up now, too. So, and this is serious, like, word problems, and, 2 trains are going towards each other, and blah, 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 all that stuff. That's all in here, quadratic formula. And in all of these books, I always include where you could use this in real life, because I feel like that's a thing that teachers don't often have the time to get into because they're so busy teaching the actual material. But it's important to me that the kids see the relevance. Like, why should I know this stuff? Square roots, exponents, things like that. Yeah. So, very proud of this one. And then the oldest kid book that I have, that I've written, is Girls Get Curves. Geometry Takes Shape. This is high school geometry. This is proofs. This is, I'll supposed to, and what's funny is that geometry was actually the most difficult for me. But see, I make it kind of cute. I mean, parallel lines, you can see smiley faces and hearts and stars and things because, thank you, Teresa, because I just want it to be fun. I want it to be fun, and this is, see, it's like proofs about proving that triangles are equivalent and all that stuff. You like my pie song on YouTube? Thank you so much. It's not on YouTube right now for very complicated reasons, but my pie song is on my Instagram feed right now, and you can find it at mckellarmath.com in the blog. Rotisserie, you know. So which grade are you talking about? Because so remember this book, Do Not Open This Math Book. That one teaches addition and subtraction in the new math way. Do I cut a pie symbol on the crust of my pie pies? Yes, I do. I'll be doing that on Thursday. Well, sometimes they cut it. Sometimes I'll actually create more strips from the pie dough and then put it on top to make the shape of pie. Hello, Newfie Bullet. Yeah. So, yeah, this was a fun. The geometry book was a fun one for me to write because I struggled in geometry in high school a little bit. It wasn't as easy for me as algebra. It didn't come as naturally. I shouldn't say easy. Algebra was not easy for me at all, but it didn't come as naturally as this one did. So anyways, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, you guys. Yeah, just brain tricks of paying more attention. I really think that's going to make a difference for me in remembering like locations and how to get places. Because seriously, I'm seriously locationally challenged. I don't know where I am. I don't know how to drive places that I've been to 10 times. Of course, GPS doesn't make it any easier because we're so dependent on that now. Same with you. You know what? A lot of people say that either they were an algebra person or geometry was like suddenly they finally understood it. And I think because they use those two different types of math use different parts of your brain. Yes, Granny Smith apples, Ed Page, or at least some sort of green apples. Those always taste the best in baking for some reason. Was I the best student in my math class? In college, there were two of us at UCLA. We would take the same classes together, and we were good friends. We were usually at the top of our classes. So anyway, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Pi Day is coming up on Thursday, and I'm going to be making a pie for it. I put my pie song on my Instagram feed, so you guys can see that if you want to learn 139 digits of pi. That's an easy way to memorize that much pi. And I give you a tour of my math books and a couple of tips for being smarter, which is, well, I do not talk about this too much, but one, just doing math makes your brain smarter. I talk about that all the time, though. And two, this idea of attention, because our brains get so distracted by things. If we really pay attention and be present, I think I'm going to be better at remembering where I am in the world. I think we can all be better at remembering people's names. So let's all give that a try this week. All right? Okay, you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Thank you so much for all your follows and all your shares. I appreciate all of you so much. Mwah. Bye.